So now we are on to the second page. And again, we have some adding and subtracting of rationals here. So the first one, number 7, I want you to just notice we have in our second fraction 3p over 3. So the best thing to do here is to simplify that. So I'm just going to cross off that 3 and that 3. And now we just have p over 1. So when I find my common denominator, I only have to multiply my second fraction by that p minus 1 because multiplying the first one by 1 is not going to change anything because 1 is our multiplicative identity. All right, so I just did my multiplication. The other thing I want to do, if you remember, I like changing this minus sign to a plus. And I'm going to just rewrite that minus p here. So just scribble that out. So we make sure we see that we actually have to multiply that negative p by the quantity p minus 1. All right, so let's get to it. So I get p plus 3, and then plus a negative p times a positive p is a negative p squared, and then a negative p times a negative 1 is plus p. And I'm going to put it over my denominator. It's going to be capital D there. So let's go ahead and combine like terms. I'm going to put it in descending order too. So I'm going to have negative p squared, and then p plus p will be at 2p, and then plus 3, and again, all over our denominator. I like factoring out my negative 1, so I'm going to do that. So I have p squared minus 2p, and then minus 3. Let's check if we can factor this trinomial. So I'll put a p down and another p. Factors of 3 would be 1 and 3. And because it's a minus 3, I know the signs are different. I want it to be a negative 2p for my middle term, so the minus would go here with a 3, and the plus here. All right, so I have negative 1, that was my greatest common factor. P plus 1 times the quantity p minus 3, and it's over p minus 1. Nothing simplifies with that p minus 1. Even if we were to distribute that negative 1 back in, we'd have negative p plus 1. So this would be our answer. Now, if you did not factor that trinomial in the numerator, that's okay. I'll write that here too. You could have that as negative 1 and then p squared minus 2p minus 3 over p minus 1. So that would have been okay as well. Now number 9, I actually really like these problems, the complex. This might look confusing, but sometimes if we make that fraction there, bar a different color, it makes it a little easier for us. So we have x minus 5 over 4 divided by x minus 5 over 4x. So I'm going to rewrite that as two fractions being divided by one another with our good old-fashioned division symbol. Oops, let's see if I can get that in there. And when we're dividing fractions, we actually multiply by the reciprocal. So I'm going to change this to times, and then I'm going to make sure I rewrite it so that it is the reciprocal. I'm not going to be lazy and just draw arrows and stuff like that. That's where mistakes come into play. Can we simplify anything? Well, we have that quantity of x minus 5 in the numerator and the x minus 5 in the denominator here. So those would become a 1. And I have a 4x in a numerator and a 4 in a denominator. So I can divide those both by 4 because those become a 1. And what is left for number 9? The answer is just x. Now number 11, these are sort of fun. It's like we have an improper fraction and, well actually, it's like we have a mixed number and we're changing it to an improper fraction. So if I have like, again, the number 5 and a third, how would I make that into improper? Well, I multiply 5 times 3 and then I add the 1. So again, that's what I'm doing. I'm multiplying 2 times x minus 4. And then I add in the 6. So again, it's like 5 times 3 plus 1 all over 3. So this is going to be all over that x minus 4. So let's go ahead and distribute. Just write it up here. I have 2x minus 8. Okay, so we have like terms. What are the like terms? Negative 8 and positive 6. So we get 2x minus 2 over x minus 4. And that's our answer. You could factor out a 2 in the numerator, but that is going to not simplify it all. But if you like factoring, which I do enjoy every once in a while, you could do that, and that would be your answer as well. So either way to present it will work. So go ahead again, try 8, 10, and 12. Check your answers with a key. If you have questions or you're stuck, let us know so that we can help you. We don't know if you're having trouble unless you reach out to us. All right, that's it for page 2. We'll see you on page 3.